Your father works very hard for his money, and you waste it all on records.
Well, we're back now with a celebrity because I figured I would exploit this as far as I can take it since the first visit was so successful. Cutting off my head? I think a lot of people would like to cut off my head. Okay, wait a second.
Does it flip all the way around?
Yeah, it does. I'm not thinking straight this morning.
There you go.
That's better. Yeah. See, I don't want to get too tall. I don't want it to be too high, so I'm in it and he's not in it because he's kind of more important.
No, it's your channel.
No, there you go.
There we go. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so the last time you visited, we made a video and we put it on YouTube, and like over almost 15,000 people have watched that video.
I haven't even been looking at the view count. Yeah. I just know that for some stupid reason it got more views than the Graham National Review.
Yeah, well, because you're young and he's old, I guess. So I don't know. I can't look. You're a very engaging young man. You have a tremendous amount of knowledge about records, and you love it in a way that people really, people have posted things like, "You're the future. Thank God there's someone who likes records."
Yeah, I've been reading the comments.
Yeah. But don't let it get to your head.
Of course not.
Okay, good. So, I should tell you that Bob Ludwig wants to meet you.
What?
Yeah, he does. But you're going to the wrong Portland.
I know.
So you
He's
can't.
in Maine.
Yeah. So when you come back to the East Coast, he said, "I'd like to meet that kid."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So
that's amazing.
It is amazing.
Because like he gets credits on pretty much every digital release now.
He does a lot, yeah. And then he prepares the files for vinyl too. So
yeah.
He was one of the great cutting engineers in the vinyl era.
That's how we got the RL Led Zeppelin 2 and the RL Houses of the Holy.
That's right.
Led Zeppelin records.
That's right.
And then he did a lot.
All right, so what we're gonna do today is, and you're not going to be able to share in this at home because of the copyright police are going to get involved. But I've decided that Malachi is going to hear a program of music that I've sort of prepared, and then when we're finished listening, we will talk about the music and get his impressions on the music. Okay? You ready for that?
Sure.
And we're hearing a different system today because
we have the Wilson Alex speakers
The Wilson Alex speakers are back in instead of the Sonus Fabers, which I thought were wonderful speakers. And you will remember what the sound was like last time.
Yep.
And you'll explain what you think of the differences in the sound, or if you want to, I don't want to put you on the spot. And we're also hearing you are the fourth civilian in the world to hear that tone arm. That's the new SAT CF109 tone arm.
The fourth person in the world?
The fourth civilian. So
other than the people at SAT?
Yes, because the designer told me that there are 2 people in Europe who own them.
Okay.
And I've heard it, and now you're going to hear it.
But how do you know that the people in Europe didn't invite people over to hear it?
That's exactly what I thought also. But we don't know, because most people who are into this hobby are loners and sad, live in their basement and have no life.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually a study that linked record collecting to middle-aged loneliness.
That's right. I mean,
it's an actual study.
I look at you. You're a very sad, unhappy person, obviously. So, all right. So the first thing we're going to play the Joan Baez live track, "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You," that Led Zeppelin heard. Have you ever heard that original?
Yes. Not the original, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I thought maybe you had, but you haven't. So now I'm going to play you the original, so you'll know what they heard that made them take that song and cover it. Okay?
Cool.
That's the first thing. And we'll be back after a few hours of listening, and then we'll wrap it all up with some big surprises, okay?
They can see it.
So we've done our marathon listening session here for about an hour and a half, and now we're going to show you what we listened to, and Malachi's going to tell you what he thought. So this is the first thing we played.
So as mentioned earlier, Joan Baez in concert. We listened to "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You," the song that Led Zeppelin covered. And I think that, Led Zeppelin definitely rearranged it. They added more and everything. But it's really cool to go back and listen to this version because just as much as the cover versions are popular, this is a historical document.
Yeah.
And you can just hear it and just hear the development of the song.
And how was her voice? Her voice is amazing.
Her voice was good. Like, she had a lot of vibrato to it.
Yeah.
And it was just natural and powerful. And the sound of this record is really good.
Yep.
Just natural and.
I believe the engineer on that was Mark Abort, who I believe it's not mentioned there, but I interviewed him, and you can find that interview on the website.
Now we have original Parlophone black and yellow label stereo copy of Revolver, complete with the flip back cover.
And what was it that we played? We wanted to play Yellow Submarine.
We played Yellow Submarine off of this, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the song Yellow Submarine. I feel like I've heard it way too many times, we were talking because I said that the mix was just empty and wasn't very full.
Do you still feel that way? Which is okay, you know.
Yeah, I actually honestly still feel that way because, you know, this record sounds great, but I feel like Yellow Submarine, I can appreciate the mix more after hearing it on this crazy good system. However, then we played Eleanor Rigby and we were like, okay, this is a better mix. So, Yellow Submarine...
Despite the mistake, right?
Despite the mistake, which I'm sure some of you Beatles fanatics know about it.
Of course. Okay, we got to move quickly or we're going to run out of time.
Then we decided to compare two Dr. John records because I was asking Michael about the Rhino Run Out Groove label where you like vote on the next record that they send you. And he said, well, this is the latest one, why don't we compare? So we compare an original with the song Mamaroo on it. This is
and you see that's the original Acto label. They got it wrong in the double record. They used the second label. They didn't know. These young people just don't know, you know. So they got it wrong. But that's okay. It was good, right? It wasn't as good as the original, but it was good.
Yeah, I think that with the Run Out Groove one, I said it was the greatest high-res download I have ever heard. And for some reason, I cannot get this.
I'll do it. I'll do
insert.
it. There might be an obituary of somebody. No, I'll take it. I'll take it. I put obituaries of people in the record jackets.
Really?
I do, yeah. If somebody involved in the record, it's that way. It's a historical thing.
So, but the Run Out Groove was pretty good. Yeah. There is some distortion on both of them, a little more so on the original. However, Run Out Groove did get it right, considering it must have been.
Yeah, see, here's an obit for Harold Batiste, 83, musician, arranger, and jazz educator. He worked with a lot of different people, and he worked on this record. Okay, so I know
the music on this was great. I've never really listened to Dr. John, so.
Okay.
Then we decide to, as Michael's getting that ready, we decide to listen to one of his favorites, Archive Productions, The High Renaissance, and it's dance music from the 1500s.
Yeah, I think it's 1500s. I could
be
wrong. But it's Michael Pretorius. That's who.
Okay.
So we played a song that has a lot of percussion, that has an interesting instrument called a regal on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a buzzing.
Yeah. I thought you might enjoy that. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. I think that this is a great record. And I'm not really into this type of music, though. I surprisingly enjoyed this one. I don't know why, but the reason why he played it for me is because he knew I was going to enjoy it. And then he wanted me to hear the ripoff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a group called The Fifth Estate. They did a version of Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz. And the whole bridge of the song is basically, they took Michael Pretorius's track and made it the bridge of that song.
So, yep.
If you're going to steal it from someone who's been dead for 300 years. If
you're going to steal from someone who's dead and is not copyrighted.
That's right. And then we played Hurdy Gurdy Man from Donovan, and you liked that a lot.
I like this a lot. I think that it was just a very interesting song, and the production was great. The mixing and the stereo placement was great, considering that this was 1960-something.
Yeah, I forgot. What is that right there? No, it doesn't. It's probably, I forget,
mid-60s.
I forget the mid-60s. If you remember the mid-60s, you weren't there.
Didn't one of the guys in Jefferson Airplane say that?
Yeah. Okay. Then we played. You were explaining that you didn't think there were good stereo mixes in those early days, and yet I played you In My Room in that.
Yeah, so stereo In My Room from the Analog Productions Surfer Girl LP. And
look how beautiful the packaging is.
Yeah, it's great tip-on gatefolds. And
beautiful. Look how good the reproduction of the photography is just so. It's the way reissues should be done.
Yes. However, sadly, most people aren't willing to sacrifice 2 more records they could buy just to get a top-notch quality record. So I honestly think that and I don't know if you're in agreement on this, though. I think that...
I think we're in agreement on a lot of things.
Yes, we are. But they should... Every reissue should be like this, because if you're trying to convince people that records are better, then don't cut from a high-res file, because you're just saying, oh yeah, this high-res file is better. However, this is the closest you're going to get to the tape.
That's right.
Unless you get the $450
tape
Ultra Reels from Analog Productions, which I'm sure are good. But.
Then we played Bookends, and we played the song, because right after we played the Donovan song, we played Fakin' It, which is really about... First of all, Paul Simon rips off Sunshine Superman on purpose, and then references Donovan in the song, and the song is about losing your muse. That's what it was about.
Basically, when he's saying, "I've just been faking it, not really making it," I feel like he's just saying he's faking to the public the fact that he's writing the song, and that he's not really making the song.
Yes.
He's just stealing it.
Yes. Yes.
This is not a stolen record, so.
No.
But the music is stolen, though.
Okay, then we played another Beach Boys song. We played This Whole World, because we were playing a lot of kind of down songs, you know, and I wanted to play a happy song, so This Whole World is a very up-tempo song.
And also, this is naturally recorded in stereo. They said on the back, technical notes, this album was recorded at the studios of Brother Records and
that's the important part.
Most advanced of blah, blah, blah. So it's done on a 3M 16-track tape recorder and using 2-inch wide tape. It tells you the microphones used. Custom.
You're going to lose the audience if you keep that up.
I'll lose my audience, but not yours.
Not mine, but you know, we're not everybody. Then I played you a kind of a down, kind of interesting
Paris, Texas soundtrack done by Ry Cooder. The theme song, I guess it is.
Yeah, you like that though, right?
Yeah, I liked it because it's like very eerie, and it does remind you of the desert. And this, I just realized that this was mastered by Bernie Grundman.
That's right, and recorded at Ocean Way. It's wonderful. That should be reissued. It's a very short record, but it's still worth reissuing. Okay, then we played
Cat Stevens. We played the song "Morning Has Broken,"
which is a beautiful, beautiful song.
And this,
I felt we should do that after all the miserable songs that we were playing.
This is an original Island Pink label, or I think it's original.
Yes, it is, and that was actually mastered at Sterling Sound by Lee Hulko.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they did all the Island, much of the Island catalog was done here and then shipped overseas. Now we're gonna make this one quick. We played 3 versions of the song "Bakai."
From John Coltrane's first Prestige album.
Yes, his eponymous record. We played the twofer that Rudy Van Gelder remastered in early 70s when Prestige was bought by, I think...
some other label in California.
Yeah, I think it was bought by Fantasy. Fantasy bought the catalog. And so they did a twofer, and Rudy mastered from the original tape...
It wasn't good.
No, it wasn't very good, was it? And then we played 2 reissues. We played
the Electric Recording Company reissue, which Michael said is $300. He likes it the best, though I honestly prefer the one he's holding, the Analog Productions reissue, done by Kevin Gray at...
They're both great.
Yeah.
They're both great.
What was this done at Coherent or Acoustic?
Coherent, because it's more recent.
Yeah, and it's got... like perfect tip-on jacket, and it's numbered, and it's just a great, phenomenal sounding record. And then half of the world likes this, the other half doesn't.
I think it's 90% of the world does not like it. Let's be realistic. I think 99% of the world doesn't like it. And then of the 10% of the 1% that's left, half of those people say they like it, but they really don't, and the other half like it, which is you and me and a few other people. But I can't listen to it all the time.
Travis Replica by Captain Beefheart. This is original straight pressing with the original labels, and this, it sounds really good. We listened to Moonlight on Vermont from this record.
How are we doing for time? We're okay? Okay, we're good. Okay, that was good, right?
That was perfect, and I honestly don't think Travis Replica is going to be any sonic wonder. However, it can sound good. But, of course, this is not what we're going to use to test out the system.
Right.
Which, we played a few other records earlier that we showed earlier that you could test out the system with. Because
we also played the Day in the Life from the Beatles mono box. We didn't.
And then what about that Classic Records box set?
That's right. We played Guantanamera
Yeah.
from the classic records 45 RPM
It
reissue.
just sounded perfect.
Yeah.
And then here is the certified 10 out of 11 Buffalo Springfield box. I'm getting my words mixed up here, of course. Mastered by Chris Bellman. Of course, we did not listen to the whole box because it would have
No.
been like 3.5, 4 hours of
Because your
music.
father's here and he's going to deprive you of that pleasure. Cruel,
However-
cruel man.
We listened to, last time around, we listened to the song I Am Child from last time around. It's got the Unipack sleeve to it. This was only
and
on
as I was
stereo.
telling Malachi, it's not an authentic Unipack because it hasn't fallen apart yet, but eventually it will.
And it just sounds fantastic. I think that, I mean, I don't really listen to much of Buffalo Springfield's material, so I don't know it, though. If I was a big fan, and maybe I will become a big fan, I would definitely get this box set, because if it's done from the original tapes, this is as
That's right.
close as we're going to
That's
get.
right. Okay,
And didn't you say that some of them were better than the originals?
Yes, I think most of them are better than the originals. Okay,
Yeah.
now we have a special part of our program
Okay.
for you, so I'm going to disappear for a second. And
You'll watch me put Buffalo Springfield's last time around back into the box. Oh, maybe not.
So I have some things to give you.
Okay.
So first I'm going to give you this test pressing. This is an Analog Productions. This is an old test pressing from 1997.
1997.
And I'm not going to talk about what it is, but I think you'll like
Mystery record.
it. Mystery record. And then I'm going to give you a copy of the Tron soundtrack
You supervised that.
that I supervised, and I wrote the liner notes in here. So I'll give you a copy of this.
Thank you so
Very
much.
proud of how this came out. It's the best sounding version of this you'll ever hear.
Audio fidelity,
Some
I see.
blue vinyl. And it's the first time people will really hear how good this production was. Because the original record was terrible. It was all on one record. They compressed it.
Well, hey, if you supervised it, then it probably sounds pretty
It
good.
better be. I was taking my reputation on that. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to give you a copy of Dave Mason's album Alone Together. You know this record?
No.
Okay, so it's a promo, so it's
Cut out.
It's cut out. It was cut, and I supervised this also in the 90s, and I wrote the liner notes. Being analog,
MCA returns to
Yeah.
vinyl, pressed on 180 gram vinyl, remastered directly from the original tapes without noise suppression or bass roll-off.
That's
See, noise reduction, it can either be great or it can be terrible.
And it's a great sounding record, produced by Tommy LaPuma, the late Tommy LaPuma. No, is he still alive? I don't. I think he's gone. And Kevin Gray cut this
Awesome.
at Future Disc. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a test pressing of, and I'm sure Chad will be okay with this. I don't sell test pressings of labels that are still in business. I'm not selling this to you. I'm giving it to you.
And I'm not going to sell it.
Okay.
I'm not that type of guy.
This is a test pressing of T for the Tillerman.
Oh,
That's for
the 33
you.
RPM?
33 RPM.
awesome.
keeping
I've
the-
I've never owned that record.
I'm keeping the 45. You can't have
Yeah,
that.
totally,
But you get
keep
the
it.
33 is really good. Okay, and now this, what is this? Oh, this is another test pressing. This is a test pressing from RTI of it's one side. It's a double record, but I only have one record from 2003. This is an Alison Krauss record. I don't know
Oh,
what you. Okay,
cool.
but I'm
My
giving.
parents would like that a lot.
Okay, it's really, really good sounding, and also I'm giving it to you because it has this in it, the RTI test evaluation.
Can I see
And I'm
it?
sure the folks at Mobile Fidelity would be more than happy to have you have this. This is from 2003.
Oh, so it was a MoFi release?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so you get that.
You know,
Do that later.
I'll put it to the side.
And then here's another one. I forgot. I don't even remember what this is. But you can have this one too.
Did you just take it out and forget it?
No, I knew what it was yesterday, but yesterday and today I forgot. And now here's something really good.
Muddy Waters folk singer?
Folk singer test pressing 45 RPM.
Classic.
This is Classic Records. Yeah, this is it. I could probably retire by selling this record, but I want you to have it.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
want you to have it.
So I guess this is like a very valuable.
I'm sure I could sell it online, but I you know.
There's no pleasure in that.
No, greater pleasure in giving it to you, believe me. Now, here's a ZZ Top Fandango sealed test pressing from Warner Brothers. I want you to have that.
Should I open it or should I?
No, open it at your leisure.
Cool.
Okay.
Coming Coming soon.
That's right.
How long do we have to wait?
It's out. That's look at the date on it.
2006.
Okay. Now I'm giving you a copy of Scheherazade.
Okay.
This is a classic. This is actually Chad's reissue, a test pressing. I'm sure Chad would be more than happy to know that you're getting it. This
I'm
is
sure he'd be more
beautiful
than happy to
classical
know.
music. Do you know this piece at all?
No.
It's a beautiful, beautiful record, and it's classical. It's a gorgeous recording. It's considered one of the greatest RCA living stereo classical recordings. Okay, and hopefully you will grow into this music.
I hope I do.
Okay, now. Here's a copy. I'm going to give you this. I'm sure Chad will be okay with this too. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky is Crying.
Test pressing.
Test pressing from Chad. Chad doesn't know about this. Hey man, it's you give it to the kid, man. I think it's okay. I'm happy to have it, man. Okay, I want you to have that. I'm so happy to be able to give that to you. Okay, there are two other things that I'm going to give you. And this is a really interesting thing. This is a box of records. Do I have the microphone on? Yes, thank God. This is a box of records that someone sent to you, and I'm going to tell you the story about this guy in a second.
Okay.
So...
Fragile.
Okay, so back in the 80s. This was in the 80s? Yeah. Back in the 80s, 88. A guy named Robert Marino started a reissue label. This is when very few people were doing reissues. It wasn't happening. And Athena Records, he decided to reissue the Rachmaninoff Symphonic Dances. It's a very famous Vox Turnabout original with Donald Johannes and the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. It's a very dry recording. Not everybody likes it, but a lot of people do like it.
Okay.
And he reissued it, had it cut, who cut? Doug Sachs cut it. At any rate,
Doug Sachs.
he did a few reissues in the 80s and maybe into the early 90s, and then he kind of got out of it. And he was lurking online on my website, on my YouTube channel, and saw the video of you, along with the other 15,000 people.
I think 100 of those people were me.
Don't say that though. You didn't hear that.
I didn't purposely inflate views. I was just trying to check the positive comments. So
okay.
Thanks for all of your positive feedback.
At any rate, he saw the video, and he put a message up there, and he said, "Listen, I want to give this young man a bunch of records." And so this is the box of records that he wants you to have. And so, should we open them? Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get a razor blade.
I'm not even sure Michael knows what's in here.
I don't. I do not.
That's the pleasure of it.
That is. That's one of the pleasures. Okay.
I just don't know how I'm gonna take all this on the plane.
I'll move this out of the way. I don't want my hand to slip and turn this from a great video to a total disaster.
Great video of us in the hospital.
Of blood, yeah. Bloodletting in the service of vinyl. Okay, let's see what he gave you. I have no idea. I have no idea either. I suspect a lot of it's going to be classical, and even if you're not into it now, eventually you will. Okay, here's free foam pellets for you. Free pink foam pellets. Okay.
Thank you so much, Robert. I know you're watching this.
Okay, let me dump the pellets. Oh. Okay, there's one CD. This is a jazz group that he was involved with.
Eric Mintel Quartet.
Okay.
He produced this CD.
Enclosed are the following out-of-print records. And these are for you.
Can I see?
Yeah, he addressed it to me. He should have addressed it to you, but that's okay.
There's the Townsend Lane.
This is a wonder. I have this record.
Okay.
This was reissued by Impex Records. This is an original Hungarian pressing, and this is a wonderful record of Vivaldi lute concertos and trios that I hope you'll get to appreciate. It's a wonderful record. The reissue is good, not as good as the original. This is a sealed original. Did we show this? So I think
I'll definitely open this.
Yeah, I think Impex did a reissue of it. It's good, not as good as the original. This is that same CD on vinyl, so you can hear what it's supposed to. So Robert Marino produced it.
Yep.
And
high resolution analog recording on AAA.
It's got, yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry that people's phones
how
are ringing.
lucky are you to have this? Brian Eno licensed this title from Melodia Records,
the Russian label.
So remember when you play this that they are listening to what you're doing. And this is a duduk music, which is an Armenian wooden kind of flute.
Okay.
So did you see the movie Gladiator?
No.
You didn't? Okay. Well, there's the guy that plays this on this record plays on that. He's like the in-demand Hollywood duduk player. So he plays on all, Hans Zimmer's sound. This is the most beautiful, beautiful record. Thank you, Robert. This is just, you'll love this record, I think.
Robert, this is so generous. I'm just in total
Wait, there's
shock.
more.
There's more?
Yes, there's more. Okay, now, here's a copy of Petrushka by Igor Stravinsky. This is also Answer Me and the Swiss L'Orchestre, the Swiss Roman. This is also, I have an original. This is a wonderful.
He released this.
Yeah, he released this from tape.
Promo cutout copy.
See what it says? Athena Analog Master Recordings and the No Digital symbol trademarks owned by, he owned that. This is 1991. Oh. Yeah. I was going to play you an original of this.
Can I see what it is?
This is a Peter Townsend, Ronnie Lane album,
Rough Mix,
which is a wonderful acoustic recording. Beautiful. Eric Clapton's on here.
It's a sealed cutout.
Sealed cutout. And this is not the original pressing. It's a second reissue, but still, it's a wonderful.
How do you know it's a second pressing?
Because the original's a gatefold.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's a beautiful record. You'll enjoy that too. Great choice. And then he gave you a copy of this, which I showed you. Symphonic Dances.
This one. We
yes,
now
and
share something.
you see there's a
100% analog, no digital. And
there's notes on there. We're all getting phone calls. 1 second, I gotta find. At least the dogs aren't barking. Then, an Enya album.
I don't even.
This is where the expression "Enya face" came from. No, it didn't.
Wow, this is another sealed cutout.
Yeah.
Of an Enya record. I have not heard this, but.
Let's see. Was that recorded in Ireland? Let's see where it was recorded.
It said 1986 on it.
This is remastered by Sam Feldman at Atlantic Studios. Okay, I don't know that one. That's an Enya record I don't know. And then there's more. But wait, there's more. Here is this is an Argo. You know Argo Records?
No.
It's a division of Decca Records. And you will see, if you take that out of the sleeve, it may have had some water. Doesn't matter though, but this is
still a good record, hopefully.
Yes, I'm sure the record's going to be great. So.
Oh, the inner sleeve on like how to take care of your record. I love those because it's like.
Oh, make sure that you're wearing the right clothing, and before playing this record, be sure to eat the right food. Here's a list of food you should. Okay. And yeah, it says original Decca.
Wow.
So
the people in the UK back then were smart because at least they put it in a polyline sleeve.
Right. And then there's one last record.
All right.
And this is a Pierre Varnet. Wow, this is definitely obscure. I don't even know this. This is made in France. I don't know this. But
I don't know it either.
It's Mamba Percussion. So it looks... It's the usual audiophile snake oil. Okay, so those are your records. And
Whoa,
there's one more thing that you're getting. One more thing coming your way.
What's going on here? Someone please tell me.
Okay.
What's the issue?
Okay. So this is your brand new Riga P3 turntable.
What?
It's your brand new Riga P3 turntable. You know what that is?
Yes, the Planar R3.
Yeah, this is yours. And this
does it have the Elise 2 attached?
I hope so. We'll open it up and we'll see. I bet you it does. I'm going to read this. Malachi, I saw your video on Michael's website and felt the urge to send you a little gift of encouragement in hopes that you continue along on this path. Drop me a line if there's ever anything I can help you with, and please hire me to work for whatever business you end up starting in the future. Cheers from LA, Zach Cowie. P.S. My favorite record store in Portland are Music Plastique,
Mississippi Records.
Little Axe, and Crossroads.
Crossroads is like a market where like a bunch of record sellers.
Yeah, you'll
go.
be very happy. Now Zach worked at Touch and Go, Sub Pop, Drag City, and Rhino, and he ended up having an Emmy-nominated music supervisor credit.
Lifelong record collector, DJ, and audiophile. We like those.
That's right. So he saw the video and he was so moved by that he sent you. I would be too cheap to give you a turntable, but he he did it.
Wow.
How great is that?
Thank you so much, Zach.
I feel like Oprah. You get a turn. Everybody in the room gets a turntable.
You get a car.
Anyway, so that's our video, and it was.
I still don't know what all these are. To be perfectly honest.
It's about time there was some honesty coming out of you, but you'll play them and you'll hear them, and maybe you won't like everything, maybe you will, maybe you won't like it now, but as you can tell by being here, never get rid of a record. Keep everything, because later on you might end up liking it.
Yeah.
That Hungaritone is a wonderful record.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we've pretty much summed it up, and again, I want to thank you for coming, and you're a pleasure and a treat. I
want to thank Michael for having me here. I want to thank Zach for the Riga P3, and I want to thank Robert for the records, and I also want to thank my dad for driving me here.
Thanks, Dad. So I'm sorry you're moving away. So I hope when you come back to the East Coast, you'll get in touch. Stay in touch with me.
Of course, I'll keep emailing you.
By email, and when I get out the West Coast of Portland, we'll have to go record shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much.